As many of you know, I'm a city girl. I grew up in Philly, but today's guest has me thinking that I have a little bit of cowgirl inside of me. Today's guest is actually disrupting the Western fashion industry by bringing vegan boots to the forefront of the world. She's bringing quality, she's making sure that it has low impact, and ultimately helping people like me connect with their inner cowgirl. All right, let's jump into the interview. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next interview. Today's guest is going to bring us into Western fashion, obviously with a vegan twist. I love having guests like we have today because it's not only about offering kind of options to vegans, but it's also making sure that they're bringing kind of quality to Western fashion. I think one things that we've always want as we want vegan options is we don't just want the stuff that, is creating an environmental issue. We don't want things that are just creating other issues in the world. We want vegan style, we want vegan fashion, but we also want quality. So I'm really excited about talking to our guest today about how she built her brand, how she built her business, and how she appeals not only to vegans but everyone kind of across the spectrum. So today's guest is coming to us from Desert Bloom. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with the brand. I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with our guest today, but I think after today's interview, I think all of us will have a little bit of an inner cowgirl or inner cowboy, depending who's listening. It's just going to pop out and probably want to run straight to the website and grab something. So, without further ado, let me welcome my guest today. Welcome, welcome. Kristen, it's great to have you here today.
Hello, I'm Kristen Decker, founder of Desert Bloom. We are a premium cowgirl boot brand based out of Washington State. Right now, we're just doing online sales through our Shopify store. Our boots are made from a premium bio leather that comes from corn and wheat.
So, let's give everyone a little bit of background on the business. How did you get started? How did you decide that, hey, this is a business I want to build? And this is a business that I want to bring not only your own personal style to, but that vegan flair to.
Yeah, well, I've always been a cowgirl. So ever since I was like a little girl. So for me, I've always, been on a farm. I've always been around kind of that Western, atmosphere vibe. And so it was, and I've always worn cowgirl boots ever since I was a little girl. So this was probably like 7 years ago, we were at a family reunion and we were sitting on the beach in Coronado Island, and I was with a couple of my family members, and we were all just sitting there in a circle, just talking about how amazing it would be to have like our own cowgirl boot brand. And for whatever reason, 7 years ago, that conversation just resonated with me. And, years went by, and of course, life happens and you don't really do anything. And about 3.5 years ago, I woke up one morning and I looked at myself in the mirror and I basically just said yes to myself. I said, I just have this feeling that this is something that I need to do. It's something I want to do. I'm like super passionate about it. And I also wanted to do something that is different. I wanted to offer the world basically a product that basically necessarily in the footwear industry that doesn't have to come from animals. And so that's kind of how that spark and that interest of doing this began. So then I started doing some research with different material, like plant-based materials, and I started purchasing, because we own another company in Mexico. We do property management and real estate sales as well. And so I started purchasing some of this material because we would get clients that would, want to throw away their old couches or their chairs and things like that. And I basically would started buying this material in bulk, and I started recovering old couches and chairs, and it like basically turned out amazing. And basically I was just like, oh my gosh, this is it. I need to, this is the product. This is what we're going to start making our boots out of.
So I think one of the challenges with being like a trailblazer, with someone who's saying, I want to offer something different, is there's a lot of work that's required in the beginning stages. There's a lot of trial and error. And then also, since you did have a business background from having another business, do you feel like that was an advantage when you kind of jumped into this space? Or did you feel like you were just in totally new territory, especially as you were bringing kind of that premium product to, to the kind of Western boot?
I definitely felt like I had an advantage, just because of, we built a couple businesses, and so I had the confidence that I'm like, I can do this. I know I can do this. But but it was a completely different industry. I mean, in the end, no matter what business you have, you're basically just dealing with people and customer service and a lot of in that. But the boot industry itself, the fashion industry, completely new ball game for me. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been like such an adventure. I'm learning so much in the industry. Um, so yeah, um, I definitely felt like I had an advantage because I've built businesses before. So I kind of, you just kind of take one day at a time and you just start building and you start making connections and you start learning and some doors open and you just kind of figure it out as you go. It's like that. You say yes and then you're like, okay, how do I do this?
I think that's the case for many of us when we're starting a business. You're just kind of like navigating. Sometimes it feels like you're navigating a storm. Sometimes you're, trying to walk through, it feels like all the lights are off and you're trying to navigate. And then all of a sudden, a bright light kind of blinks and you're like, oh, I see it. I see where to go. So, as you have built your business, what have you felt is the big thing that's made the big breaks in your business? Do you feel like it's just been like one viral post or one big partnership or one thing that, or one or two things that have really moved the needle? Or do you feel like consistency has been your method to success, meaning constantly showing up, constantly getting out there, talking to your customers, creating new products, testing new materials, and so forth?
Definitely getting out there and just like, every day, like trying something new, trying something different. It's kind of like like Thomas Edison, where he learned 174 ways that didn't work. And then he found one, method that basically that did. So it's kind of the same concept in the fashion industry and in this world. I've definitely learned 174 ways that don't work. So I'm still every day out there talking to people, researching, making contacts, being a part of the AC Council. AC Accessory Council has actually been amazing for us. They've put us in front of so many incredible people. We just did an event with Beyonce's ex stylist Ty Hunter. I got to meet him in person. Um, so just not being afraid and getting out there and just getting your
Mhm.
yes on. Like I'm almost literally just saying yes to everything. And also most importantly, I'm just having fun doing it because if you're not having fun, then it's like, what's the point? And for me, this is it's a passion. I feel good about what I'm doing. I feel good about the product that we're putting out there. And And yeah, you just have to get up every day, you just have to get dressed, you just have to stay positive, and you just have to keep asking. You know, I have this saying, like, if you don't ask, you don't get.
One question I always have is about how people have built their businesses. Some people build it more like that solopreneur path. It's just them making it work. Some people build it with them and a partner, and some people build it with a strong team behind them. How have you built your business, and then how have you navigated that approach as you've kind of grown over time?
Okay. So, yeah, we definitely for me, when I started this business, and decided to go, into the basically into the footwear industry, which I do nothing about. So, other than just, wearing them all the time on my feet, I had hired a consultant, that's been in the industry for like 30, 40 years. And she's worked with really big brand names in the Western industry, and just in the footwear industry alone. And so for me, built like putting a team behind me of people that knew more than I did in the industry was really important because I wanted to make sure that uh, you know basically they helped me not step into probably a lot of bear traps that I would have stepped into um, if I had just gone into the industry like, myself. So having their expertise, having their help, definitely has helped get me to where I am today in this, during this 3-year span. Um, and I'd always believed that surrounding yourself around people that actually know more than you do is the best way to create a team. So, because I'm definitely gonna pretend that I do not have all the answers, but if I bring my team together and we all kind of, discuss and put our heads together, then we're gonna come up with something amazing.
Yeah, I like that idea that you reached out to consultants, you built a team, built support around you, especially going into an industry that was pretty well established. I think that's one of those hard things to go into because when you're trying to make change, the industry doesn't always like it. The other question I have for you is really around, what you're doing today and your future plans. As we build our businesses, we normally start with one core, a few core products, and then expand from there. So, do you want to walk our audience through what's your current lineup, what you currently offer, and then maybe what are some of your future plans for the business?
Yeah, the future plans, right now, what we're doing is we're basically trying to create as much brand awareness, as possible. Because it's like you can have the most amazing product in the world, but like if people don't know that you have it, like they'll never know that you exist. So the visibility right now for us is like number 1. And so we're doing different events. I'm in LA right now, promoting the business, doing just a bunch of different pop-ups and events. And then in November, I'm going to be in Austin, Texas, doing Fashion Week up there. And then in December, we're going to be in Las Vegas. So we're just right now, the future for Desert Bloom is just to get out there and try to get as much visibility as possible and to just really let people know who we are and what we're doing and what we stand for. Because really, I feel like what we're doing is create. It basically is solving a huge problem in the footwear industry right now, and it's almost like we're more than just boots. It's a movement for style and compassion.
I love that. The idea of a movement for style and compassion in the really fashion industry as a whole, because there have been some challenges there and a lot of people who have tried to drive change because some of the past, I think, habits of the fashion industry, we've all heard about where, products are thrown out, products are burned, just all types of things and waste and things that are happening in the fashion industry. It's really exciting to have someone like yourself there. Do you feel like as far as building a business, do you feel like, for a lot of people, they they come in with a dreamy eye around, what it's going to be like to own and run a business, as opposed to the grittiness of what many of us know of what it takes to run a business day to day. Do you have any advice for our audience on the best kind of mindset they should go in with when they're thinking about starting their business? I know you mentioned about loving the journey and loving what you'd like to do earlier, but is there any other advice you would give to people who are trying to follow that dream, but also come in with a level-headed approach?
Yes, I definitely do. Um, like I've gone through I've gone through like some life coaching sessions and things like that to just help me personally with my personal life. And the best advice I can give to anybody is that because we all have dreams, we all have things that, make us resonate, that we're passionate about. And a lot of times I feel like we get stuck. We get stuck in this, this doubt, self-doubt. And and there's two ways of thinking, right? You can either live in that self-doubt and probably not achieve what it is that you want to achieve in your life. Or you can think the opposite. And you kind of think about it in a way like how we were when we were kids. Like we didn't have any cares in the world. We didn't care what anybody thought about us. We would just do, somersaults on the sidewalk or cartwheels or, stomp in mud puddles and just laugh and play and, just like not really just have this amazing positive attitude when you're a child. And so it's kind of that same advice, right? It's like just bring out that inner child again. Just be positive, put out positive energy, positive vibes, like wake up every morning and just be like something wonderful is going to happen today. Something amazing is going to happen today. Like I, love myself. Um anything that you can do to just like bring so much positivity to what it is that you are doing, then those things it'll just automatically happen. You'll get rid by being staying consistent and being and doing that in your life, you will get rid of that self-doubt and that positivity will help motivate you um, into what it is that you want to do and what makes you resonate. So just stay positive. That's and surround yourself around people who believe in you more than you do. Because when you do have those moments of self doubt, you're going to need those people in your circle.
I think that's great advice for a lot of people out there because doubt is something that can really shake your core and keep you from moving forward. So I think that was wonderful advice. One other thing I was wondering, and when I was on your website, I love the slogan. Let me just look down to make sure I got it right, where it says low eco impact boots and high impact style. When I read that, I'm a person from the East Coast. I'm from Philly, I'm a city girl. I don't necessarily think about owning a boot. But now you have me wondering, do you think everyone should at least own a pair of boots? Like, because we should all have that in our style kind of repertoire.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I I'm passionate. I love cowgirl boots. I love the Western look. But cowgirl boots can go with anything. Like I wear my boots, with shorts and t-shirts, or I'll wear them, with a nice silk dress and go out in the evening with my husband. Or, I'll put them on a business suit and go to the office or the boardroom. I literally my boots, I can wear them with absolutely anything. And so yeah, I absolutely everybody should try on a pair of Western boots. They are extremely comfortable. They're very well made. And I promise I'm not going to disappoint, or the boots are not going to disappoint.
After looking at your website, I am sure the pictures on there look great. The styles look great. And like you said, I feel like, yeah, you could wear it with everything. Just gotta rock it. So I think that's really exciting. So maybe that's a good segue if people are interested in buying the boots, if people want to reach out and hear more about your story, if people want to support you, what's the best way? Can you maybe give them the website, social media? How should they follow and hear more and more about all the great things that you guys have?
Yes. So, for anybody who's interested in finding us, you can order a pair of boots online. If you we're at desertbloom.com online, and then our social handles for like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn. We are at Desert Bloom Boots for all of our social handles. So again, our website is www.desertbloom.com, where you can order online. And our social handles are at Desert Bloom Boots.
I noticed on your website that you have this option for people to join the Cowgirl Collective. One thing I noticed is that you have people vote on designs or give feedback on ideas. How is that process working? How do you keep your kind of community involved in the products that you are going to ultimately offer?
So we have like we have on our website we do have like Cowgirl Club that you can join, and so um, basically through that you'll be part of our mailing list, and we do all kinds of promotions and kind of like some behind the scenes things that we offer as well. So if you want to join our Cowgirl Club, you can do that by signing up online through our website. And then if you're on Facebook, we also have a private group called uh, Outlaws in Bloom, and that is a private Facebook group that we organize. And through this private group, we basically do even more kind of behind the scenes things that we necessarily don't um, put out on social media. So you get to see kind of more raw content on this private elite group that we have. And then we do a lot of, we'll do some fun promotional things in there too. Like we're doing a collaboration with a rising country star out of Nashville. Her name is Sophia Scott. And we actually have a boot design that we designed together, which is called the Mariposa. And so it's like this beautiful butterfly with a buffalo head in the center. And she's actually going to be performing at the Grand Ole Opry at the end of October with Carrie Underwood. So yeah, so like with this private Facebook group that we have, we'll do fun things, where you'll get to see maybe some behind the scenes with Sophia, or sometimes you will have an opportunity where you can win tickets to go see some of her events or of other collaborations that we're doing. So we definitely have a lot of fun things that you can do and sign up for. So please do. We definitely need as much help as we can get, kind of spreading the word and trying to make a difference in the footwear industry, and just the fashion industry in general. Definitely needs a big change.
Definitely. Want to support you on that mission, support your Facebook group. I love that name. Outlaws in Bloom. I think that is so great. And it is wonderful to not only hear about the different products they're offering, it's really exciting to hear about all the events that you're doing. But it's also exciting to hear how, you're really growing and how you're incorporating feedback and how much the community can help shape what's next. So it has been great having our conversation today and getting a little bit of insight into the great work that you're doing, insight into the products that you offer, and also piquing my interest into getting a pair of boots as well. So I want to just thank you for your time and also encourage everyone who's listening or watching this podcast or this series to please go visit Desert Bloom. Please support these businesses. It's so important. And it's also a great way to create, a talking point at time to get people to, go, ooh, what's those boots? And then you can go into your whole story about how these amazing vegan boots have come to fruition. So thank you so much, Kristen, for your time today. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your vision. It was great having you.
Thank you so much for having me as well. I really appreciate this interview and the publicity for our brand and what we're doing. It really, really, truly, genuinely means a lot. So thank you.
Well, thanks, everyone. We're going to wrap up this episode, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye, everyone.